well, build the reservoir now.
Buy the land, send the water south.
It's time to buy the land and send the water south.
Buy the land.
Flood their fields. They will share the burden of this problem, this ecological disaster. They'll share it.
It's time for us to take some action. Time for us to get up. We've never come to have our voices known at any of these meetings. This journey started back probably February this year, where we got into some emails that some of the environmentalists said that if the Herb dike, which is the dike that surrounds our communities, bust, that the loss of life would be inconceivable, but that the benefit to the environment would be immeasurable. So that means they didn't care much about our lives.
Lake levels are high, and they're afraid that the dike will let go and will endanger the lives south of the lake. Now, that's true. The dike is weak, the water is high, and those people are without a doubt in danger, so they have to do something with the water.
We've really not been saying anything. We've allowed them to talk about how we wreak havoc and how we destroy the environment and all.
They backpump their dirty, polluted water back into the lake, feed this stuff, knowing that at that time it was coming to us. So, under the premise of we must protect the people, they're sending the water to us. But it's just not water. It's got a neurotoxin in it. They're sending poisonous, toxic water into our watershed and into the Clewiston watershed.
In addition to the pollution, algae growth east of the lake is instigated by climate change, population growth, and aging septic tanks in the area. So let's begin to have a sincere conversation about removal of the septic tanks.
Time to step up to the plate. So we wrote some editorials, and through those editorials we started getting pushback from environmentalists about what was going on.
How can you hold the law up and say we must protect these people?
Time for us to get up. I took this on as a venture. Actually was supposed to be retiring from the commission this year, but because of this issue, I decided to run one more time. So the journey now is to educate our communities, Belgrade, South Bay, Ahokee, Clewiston, and Moorhaven about the issues, and let them come forward and know that we live in a rural area because that's where we chose to live. And because we live in a rural area, we depend on agriculture for our livelihood. And when they say buy up the land and send the water south and all of that, it really affects us. So we need to be at the table talking to them about what it is and how it's going to impact our communities. So that's where the journey is, and that's where we are now. Today is just the start of a new beginning of them hearing from the people in the Blaze area. The reality is, I've heard this all along because they've been very vocal. They've been very vocal about they want them to buy the land, they want them to send the water south, they want them to do anything to keep their beaches and their privacy, whatever. That's what it's all about. It's been about them. So I've heard their side of it all along. I just want our communities educated, and I want our communities to start advocating for themselves instead of letting other people advocate for you. Because when other people advocate for you, they don't have your interests at heart. And see, to me, this is a personal issue. I had family that died in the 1928 storm. Besides that, I have family that was in Katrina. I have family in New Orleans that's still not back in New Orleans. We have families scattered all over the country. So it's personal with me. That's why I'm taking this on personal. Our family keep up with family history, and our grandmothers told us about our family that was lost in the hurricane and told us about the events and stuff that they was here to see. but our young people just got to be taught. And our side is our livelihood. And there is a problem. You know, anybody who's living with allergy or any other environmental issue, but there needs to be a solution, but it don't need to be us. It's time for them to hear our side.
You know what they say about giving a mouse a cookie? He always wants more. Well, government land grabs in South Florida make the mouse look modest. Today, government owns more than 5.5 million acres in South Florida. In fact, 48% of South Florida is owned by government. Truly massive chunks of land at the federal, regional, and state levels. And on top of that, government has imposed easements and restrictions on another 741,000 acres in Florida. Every land grab in the last 30 years has the same cast of characters: well-heeled environmentalists who hatch the plan, bureaucrats who sell it, and politicians who take credit for it. Typically, each land grab is met with media fanfare and hailed as the missing link or the one essential element of some larger conservation program, until the next big program produces the next big land grab. And the pace of government land shopping is accelerating. In the 60s, state government grabbed over 70,000 acres. In the 70s, it scooped up over 650,000 acres. Then in the 80s, it gobbled up another 600,000 plus acres. Since 2000, government has acquired an astounding amount of land in South Florida alone. Nearly 460,000 acres, starting with these here, and here, here, and here. Then those over there, down there, and well, pretty much everywhere. Every time government goes land shopping, they take private property off the tax rolls, leaving the rest of us with higher taxes. Sure, some land should be publicly owned, but before government spends more money on more land, it should use the money and land it already owns to finish the Everglades restoration and other projects to address the releases damaging our estuaries. That's a simple way to improve the quality of our local waterways without spending more money on more land grabs that provide little benefit to Floridians. To learn more and take action, visit jamesmadison.org.